In this video, I'll be sharing with you the things that you must know about 2022 to make the most out of this coming year. Aloha, beautiful souls! My name is Ryan of Transolution, and I'm here as always to assist you on your spiritual journey of deep transformation and self-discovery. Welcome back, fam, to this channel. And to those of you that are new, I want to send you a very warm welcome and thank you so much for joining us. So, as some of you may already know, I do love me some numerology, some astrology, and some channeled messages from spirit. And so we are going to load this video up with all of those things and make this delicious stew and soup to serve to you about 2022. How does that sound? Y'all ready to get started? Okay, let's do this. So why don't we begin with some numerology? So here we have 2021, right? It's good to know where we've been so we know where we're going. So if we add those up in true numerology fashion, we have 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1, and that gives us, lovely ladies and gentlemen, the answer is right there, a number 5. Yep, you got it right, 100%. And what the number 5 was about is about change. And a lot of time with change comes challenges. Ooh, yes, that's a big buzzword for 2021, right? Change and challenges, double C. Now, sometimes change and challenge comes because we want to express ourselves fully and authentically. The change comes from within. We feel this calling within to do something different, to be something different. And other times, change can come from external sources. Things like our circumstances, events that happen into our lives and into the lives of the collective, ringing any bells, people here, that come into our reality, right? And force us to adapt, change, so that we can survive, so that we can make it through whatever this storm and winds of challenge and change bring us. So, reflecting back on your 2021, what kind of challenging experiences did you personally have? And what challenges and experiences did you notice were happening around the world that seemed to really strike at your very core? Think about all the changes that have happened in your life in 2021, both internally on the soul spirit level and externally, right, in the 3D physical realm. Reflect on all those things that have happened to you in 2021 and see how they relate to this theme of the number 5, change and challenge. Now we are in 2022, and in similar fashion, we're going to break the numbers into the components. So we have 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 2, which gives us, you got it, folks, a 6. And the number 6 is all about growth, nourishment, love, healing. But there's something special about 2022, that number, that year. So let's look at that as well. So we have 3 2s, right? 3 is the number of creativity. 3 is a very sacred and powerful number. I mean, think of like body, spirit, mind, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, the 3 primary colors. It's a number of creation, creativity. 3 amplifies energies. And what particular energies are we talking about? Well, let's look at the 2, right? We have 3 2s. So the number 2 is all about balance, relationships, connection between people, connection between you and your dreams and your goals and other physical objects that you're trying to manifest in your life. Whether that be something as small as like a new piece of clothing or something as big as like a house. So with the 3 energy, amplifying these connections, these relationships, this balance in our life. That's what we're going to be seeing here, kind of playing into this 6 energy of 2022. Now, also of note, the last time we had these triple digits in the year was in 1999. We had triple nines, and that's barring the year 2000 with the triple zeros because some people don't actually count zero as a number. So this is a big year for many of us because it's going to be a long while again, guys, before we see these triple digits within the number of a year again. Not again in our lifetime, that's for sure. So getting back to this number 6 here, this number 6 is prime energy for you to be who you truly are meant to be in this world. 6 is that number of nourishment, of self-focus, self-healing. This is a great opportunity for you to finally release past traumas and hurts. Let that all heal. And for a lot of people, from that healing and release comes an opportunity to create an impact and serve others with what you've learned and gained along your own journey. And even if you're not like a coach or a teacher or like a medical provider or a parent, whatever, where you're not in that role of taking care of other people, the fact that you're taking care of yourself and doing that inner work of healing yourself, loving yourself, that's one less soul and spirit on this planet that needs that extra love and healing, right? Because you've done some of that work for yourself, and now that energy can move to other people who need it. So everybody is doing their part of nourishing this planet's vibration, healing the energies of the collective consciousness. And what's important about this number 6 as well is that you have to understand that what you nourish grows. So this year, have that mindfulness and that awareness of where you are putting your energy. Where are you putting your focus and your resources to? Because you, in that act, are planting the seeds for what is going to bloom and blossom in the years to come. So no more putting your passions and your dreams aside and for the sake of something else, right? This is your year to really lay down that powerful foundation and plant those seeds of what you want to see for your future. And lastly, with the number 6, since we are now in the year of the 6, it will be very, very helpful and encouraging for you to notice any time the number 6 crosses your path in your day-to-day life, because that is going to be a sign of the universe that you are on the right path. Moving on to the second thing, why don't we talk a little bit about astrology? And I want to focus on this segment on the eclipses of this year. Why? Because the eclipses herald change and transformation deep on the soul level, right? And from the soul blooms everything else. And so what we have here in this year is a shift in the nodes of the moon. We were previously with Gemini and Sagittarius, and now we are with Taurus and Scorpio. So the north node is in Taurus and the south node is in Scorpio. So what does this even mean? Well, first of all, these eclipses are going to be particularly powerful on the following dates of this year. So make sure to mark these dates on your calendar now. We have April 30th, May 16th, October 25th, and lastly, November 8th. So it's very common to have 4 eclipses within a calendar year. So again, eclipses herald change and transformation, especially on the soul level. So where are we seeing that this year? So the north node is in Taurus. So this is the energy that we are moving towards. These are the things that we are developing and cultivating within ourselves. They're in the theme of Taurus. And so Taurus is all about value, self-worth, money, your personal resources. And Taurus is also about creating beauty, peace, and calm in your day-to-day life. And the focus here this year with Taurus is really on self. What do you want? What do you value? In what ways do you feel peace? In what ways do you feel valued? What do you value yourself? The planet that rules Taurus is the planet Venus. And so, again, what is being highlighted here is our relationships, relationships to self, relationships to others, relationship to our personal finances, our physical, material belongings, right? What is that relationship? And most importantly, in what ways do they nourish you? Right? So, in what ways in your interpersonal relationships do you notice you feel loved and valued? And in what ways do your material belongings and possessions provide you a sense of peace, a sense of security, right? And in what ways do you particularly value yourself? What are the boundaries that you have created to make sure that you feel appreciated, feel valued, and that you don't feel taken advantage of? Scorpio here, which got a little bit erased, which is totally perfect because Scorpio is in the South Node. And the energies that are driving the South Node here are energies of release. So we are looking at a release rather than a bringing in, a release of some of these outdated and old Scorpio themes in our life. So what exactly are those Scorpio themes that are ready to be released? So, Scorpio is about shared resources, things that you share with other people, like in business, at work, in your family and household. Maybe some of you have contracts with other people. So, it's a release and a transformation, either or both, of those dynamics in your life. So there is something here that's probably isn't working, and you may have known it for a little while now, and if not, it's going to become obvious and evident to you, that needs to be transformed, that needs to be changed in order for this to be fruitful and grow in the future, okay? The other thing that Scorpio really covers, and you can see this play out in some of those types of relationships we talked about earlier, are power dynamics, right? Who has control in these relationships and these interactions, and what does that mean to you? So there's going to be this shift in the way we view power dynamics, power struggles within not only our relationships with other people, these very deep, close, and personal relationships, but also with our material wealth and our physical belongings, right? What is that shift and transformation that needs to change? Maybe some of us are hoarders. That might be something to consider as well. There's something that needs to be released there, some kind of energy. Maybe there's a relationship in your life that has been quite toxic, and it's time for that to be released because it's exerting way too much power and control in your life. So a lot of shifts in the personal life, a lot of shifts in the financial and economic climate, not only in your life, but in the global level as well. So that's a little bit about the astrology that's coming our way with the eclipses. Of course, there's more to it, but we can save that for another video. Because up next, we are going to tune into some of the energies of the universe by pulling some cards. So are we ready to close this out with some energetic reads, loves? Beautiful. So we're going to start, since we were just talking about the eclipse, I felt called to use this Moonology deck. So let's see what information that these celestial bodies, particularly the moon, have to share with us about the overall energies of 2022. All right, so what we have here is nothing will come of this situation. Oh, wow. So we literally were just talking about releasing things. So there is something that each and every one of us have been holding on so dearly to. We've been holding on to it for a dear life, but for what? It is on its way out the door, and we are just like kicking and screaming and dragging it along this process, and we don't need to do that anymore. Why? Because we've been holding on to this thing that no longer serves a purpose in our life, and by doing that, we're not allowing something else to come in. So there is something major that's going to be released in all of your realities and all of your personal lives, and what I'm getting here is it's best not to fight it, best to just feel the process, release those emotions that are attached to it, that have been very heavy perhaps, and, honor it by letting it move. Energy likes to move, people, and 2022 is going to be no exception. The energy needs to move, it needs to flow. We are in that energy of shifting things in our lives. So Just let it go, let it flow, like that song by Toni Braxton. Let it go, let it. Oh wait, that's like Ilsa too. But there's a song, "Let It Flow" by Toni Braxton. Trust me, you can look it up. So let's pull some tarot cards, okay? And let's look at some of these energies of the North Node and the South Node of the Moon. Okay, so there we go. I wanted 2 cards for the North Node. And let's get 2 cards for the South Node. Oh, almost dropped that. Okay, so I think that's time to stop shuffling. And let's cut the deck and get these 2 cards for the South Node. Okay, so North Node energy here. Look at this. This person, I actually pulled this card earlier for another read, and it's the 8 of Swords. So this is feeling trapped, okay? And so what we're moving towards is freedom, right? Freedom from being trapped in this space of not having enough, right? This lack mindset. Taurus is about wealth and money. So we've been stuck not only on a personal level, but on the collective level. We've been trapped by these ideas represented by the swords that are saying we don't have enough. So we are moving now into this energy of abundance. And then lastly, we are not enough. I mean, look at this poor girl with this like donkey costume on. She's like hunched up, she's curled in, she's looking down. We are now starting to tap into our self-worth. We are breaking free of these notions that we are not enough, right? We don't have enough, we are not enough. Those are outdated and old ideas, and we are shifting out of them. And here we have the Ace of Wands, and this energy here is about passion. And look at this, creativity, where we just not talking about the number 3, which is by extension related to the number 6, right? 3 plus 3 is 6. And we have 3 2s. If we put 2 3s, we get 3 plus 3 is 6. Oh my gosh, amazing, all these synchronicities. And so here we are going to tap into what makes us passionate, what makes us feel like we're creating something in the world. We're creating impact. We're creating change. We're creating a home. We're creating a community. What are the ways in which you are creating things? And you need to nourish that. Put that time every day, even if it's 5 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever you can afford. Spend time every day nourishing your creative passion, nourishing your dream, nourishing your authentic self, because we're laying those seeds, guys, for the coming years. Now, what's ready to get on out the dough? We have the Knight of Swords, okay? So what this is telling me here is there are, first of all, a lot of ideas, right? And you see how this knight looks like they're kind of charging, they're kind of leaping into battle. So sometimes what we're doing is we're creating these conflicts where there doesn't need to be any. And what do I mean by conflicts? I'm speaking to these power dynamics, right? So many people these days, they are just so sensitive to what other people are saying and doing. And they're taking it so personally when, to be honest, a lot of the time, it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with us. Let me give you an example. So for example, say someone, cuts you off on the freeway, on the road, in traffic, right? Or steals your parking spot or whatever. And you take it so personally. You're like, that was my parking spot. This is my lane. And really it has nothing to do with you. Like, how do you know that this person, maybe they didn't even see you waiting, right? That's entirely possible. Because you are not the center of the universe, no matter how our ego likes to convince us of that fact. Their mind could have been somewhere else and they literally did not see you. Or B, if they cut you off on the freeway, maybe they're in a rush to go somewhere. Maybe someone is hurt. Maybe they're late for work. Maybe there is some crisis happening in their life, and so they are bobbing and weaving and swerving and speeding along the highway to try to attend to this crisis, right? And so what we need to let go of is this power dynamic of my needs are more important than other people's needs, and so you did wrong, you did bad, right? That's one way of looking at it, right? Even though your needs are important, it's important to know what they are. just because other people say and do things, it doesn't mean that they are necessarily challenging your needs, your values, okay? That might not be what's happening at all. So it's that shift in perspective that's going to be important, right? That other people don't have any power over you other than the power you give them. Wow, that was like really strong energy coming through. I hope y'all felt that. And here we have the Queen of Cups. And for me, there's a couple of things that I'm sensing here. The first thing kind of relates to this first card that we had, this Knight of Swords. It relates to this. Now, some people associate the Queen of Cups with people who have this sort of like borderline personality disorder, this energy of self-entitlement, and this energy of like, if you do something great, you're awesome, you're the best, you're the god and the goddess of my world, like you're awesome. But if you do something wrong, it's like you're the devil, you're demonized, you're an awful good for nothing person, right? That's the dynamics of somebody with borderline personality disorders. They go through these extremes when they view people, right? And they're not seeing what's actually there. So just because someone has a bad day and they bring their bad energy around you, does that necessarily mean they're a bad person? Like, really? Think of all the bad days that you've had in your life and the ways in which maybe you've expressed that anger and that frustration on others. Would it be fair if other people, because of that one day, that one interaction with you, would it be fair for people to label you as like a bad person, as like, you know, some demon or villain in the story? No. And so it's not helpful or productive to sort of put on these extremes on people. And then just as like another example of the polarity is like someone does something amazing for you and you think they're like God's gift to earth, right? Well, and when they don't do now you have this expectation that they're always going to be there for you, always going to rescue, always be the hero. And maybe that's not who they are, like permanently. Like maybe they're just the hero for that one event in your life, that one circumstance. And the rest of the time, they're just fumbling through life trying to figure things out themselves, right? So just like we don't want to put those personas onto other people, we don't want that put on us, okay? So that's the first thing. And the second thing that needs to be let go here is there's a lot of subconscious beliefs, subconscious thoughts about your self-worth and your value that's going to come up to the surface here, okay? And whatever is coming up to the surface, no matter how painful and traumatic and draining it feels, that stuff needs to be released. That needs to be let go of. That's how you're going to know it needs to be let go of, is it feels heavy. It hurts a little bit. So make sure you connect with coaches like myself, therapists, healthcare providers, your religious leaders. If you follow a certain faith system, like connect with them and receive their support and love, because they're also in that 6 energy as well. And they also want to make an impact, heal and nurture other people. Okay? So that is what we are letting go of. That's what we're bringing in with those eclipse energies, with that Taurus and Scorpio axis. And lastly, I want to gift everybody a little magical spell. So who likes doing some spell work, doing some magic? So we're going to pull a card here for a very powerful spell to help you make the most out of 2022. Like, the spell is going to have some extra oomph because we're in the year 2022. So let's see what that is. Ooh! I haven't really pulled anything from this deck yet for a video reading, so I'm really excited to share it with y'all. It's the Magic Spell Card deck. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. So the spell we're casting is Glamour. And look at that, loves. It's the number 15. And from what we know of numerology, what does 15 mean? 1 plus 5 is... You said it. It is 6. What? The synchronicities in this video are crazy. So anyways, the spell is Glamour. Into this mirror I now see the realms of possibility. So go ahead and type that in the comments below, okay? Into this mirror I now see the realms of possibility. Okay, so type that in there. It's really important that you type that in the comments because it helps lock that into your memory bank so you can use this spell whenever you need it this year. And so what this spell is telling me is anytime you look at a mirror, to see that reflection of who you are. Or maybe if you just self reflect on your life, right? Like in a meditation, in some quiet space when you're journaling or something like that. It's so important for you to tap into the realm of possibilities, okay? Like, you know your story as it is now, and what we're looking at is creating a new story moving forward, okay? And so, what you need to see when you look at yourself in the mirror now, my loves, is someone without restrictions, someone without boundaries, someone without limitations. Okay? Get rid of all of that. Let it go. Let it go. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Let it go. And tap into this glamour. Okay? Your new, beautiful, glamorous life. Oh, wow, that was really awesome. Okay, my loves. So if you really enjoyed the tips in this video and you got something out of it, please make sure to hit that like button. It would mean so much to me. And if you can, share this video with someone who needs to hear these messages today and who will also gain value from it. And of course, if you're new to the family and you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn the notification on to always by tapping that ding, that bell, so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. I'm sending you all so much love and light. I look forward to connecting with y'all even more, sending you much love and mahalos for the year 2022. Mwah.